What's going on, everybody? In today's video, I figured it was about time that I got back to those questions that you sent me when I said I was going to do a 700 subscribers special. I've been waiting to see if I was going to get any more questions, but I'm done with the questions at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and answer the questions. There's not that many, so this won't be a very long thing. But let's go ahead and hop right into the questions you asked, and let's see what goes on. So the first question, we're going from the bottom up. So the first question I got was from Karen Pinson. It says, "Congratulations, I'm so proud of you for reaching the 700 subscribers. Other than Phantom of the Opera, do you have any musicals that you particularly love? And also, when are you going to give us another video of you singing?" I have been singing recently in a couple different places. I just haven't posted anything of it. I will be posting something soon. I'm singing again tomorrow. I've kind of been here and there with the singing phases, but definitely I will be posting videos fairly soon. Within the next couple of days, you'll probably see something fresh with that because I'm singing somewhere new tomorrow, so chances are there will be a video pertaining to singing within the next week or so. Maybe. Solid maybe. Musicals that I particularly love outside of Phantom of the Opera. Phantom of the Opera has always been my favorite musical because it's the musical that got me into theater and musicals as a whole. However, musicals that I particularly love in addition to that one, Come From Away is one of my favorite musicals. I saw it at the Strass Center in Tampa for my birthday. Incredible show. If you don't know what it's about the 38 planes that were diverted to Newfoundland, Canada on September 11th, and how the town took them in and provided for them while they were trapped in Newfoundland. It's a really incredible story. I absolutely loved it. I think the music is beautiful. The story is an incredible, amazing story. Very, very good musical. One of the highlights of things that I have seen. Another musical that I particularly loved was Kinky Boots, actually. Really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed seeing Dear Evan Hansen with the original cast. I've seen quite a bit of musicals live, but Phantom and Come From Away are up there. They're probably my top two right now in terms of things that I have seen recently that I just really love. Of course, I like Les Mis. Les Mis is just one that you can't go without loving. It's the second longest... No, it's the longest running musical. Phantom is actually the second longest running musical in the West End. Musicals that people haven't heard of, by the way. Another musical that I particularly loved is Blood Brothers. It's very popular in the West End, but over here in America, it's like you've never heard of Blood Brothers. One of the best shows I have ever seen was Blood Brothers. If you ever have the chance to see Blood Brothers, go check it out. It's so good. You can see it on YouTube. I recommend, if you can see it live, seeing it live, but it's hard to catch it live. So, yeah, spoilers. I'm not a huge fan of watching things on YouTube if you can go see it live, but this one is one that you probably will have a hard time hunting down. If you ever have the chance to see it live, please see it live. But it is on YouTube if you want to go see it on YouTube. The next question that I got a question from someone I know, and the YouTube handle, I'll give out the YouTube handle, is Juan Ortiz. It says, "When are you going to make videos weekly?" And then another one from Louis Sharon that says, RT, which means retweet, I believe. I don't know, I'm not really sure. I don't use Twitter, but I think it means retweet. So he's asking, they're both asking the same thing about when I will be on a weekly schedule. I try to be on a weekly schedule, but I don't particularly strictly follow that. I have been getting super busy. Like, my calendar barely has days where there's not an event on it at this point. So finding time to make videos has become harder and harder. I'm teaching a class now. I'm working my traditional theater job that I've been at for the last 2.5 years. It's just all kinds of stuff going on right now. So a lot of stuff going on. And YouTube, I love making videos, but I don't always have as much time as I used to. And I really wish I had more time to make videos because It is fun. It is fun. I do enjoy making videos, and I seriously wish that I could make more videos. Another channel, great channel, The Land of Land and Land. I watch his videos when I have time to go on YouTube and watch videos. And his content, he is so dedicated to uploading things. He uploads every single day. I don't know how he can manage to do that with a full job and everything. He works super hard on his YouTube channel. He actually just hit 1,500 subscribers, and he and I have been communicating for a long time on YouTube. We're kind of long distance across the world friends that you only make on YouTube and like platforms with creators that are on the rise and working together. He makes some phenomenal content, so if you happen to feel like checking out his channel, you should absolutely check out his channel. He makes content every day, so check it out, see what he's up to. He's got a good channel. As for editing software is what he wants to know. He wants to know what I edit my videos with. I edit my videos on an iPad Pro. It's actually this iPad Pro right here, the 2017 version of the iPad Pro, because let's face it, I really haven't seen the need to upgrade my iPad Pro recently because the new ones aren't that different. It's quite literally this iPad Pro that I have here, but instead of having a home button, it's all gesture-based. So anyway, that doesn't matter. I have the 2017 iPad Pro, and editing software that I use is LumaFusion by LumaTouch. It is phenomenal editing software. It is what iMovie on the iPad should have been. It's what Final Cut for iOS could have been if Apple would have released Final Cut. I would call this, if you are looking at Final Cut Pro and you're wanting to get a more professional level editing software, this app, LumaFusion, is the one you should go for. Phenomenal app. You get some serious power editing tools. You can add LUTs, you can add transitions, you can add text, you can do chroma key, you can do a lot of what you can do with pro grade editing. You get 6, I think now. It used to be 3 audio tracks and 6 video tracks. I think you can now have a 12-track timeline, so you can have 6 video clips on the top, 3 audio tracks on the bottom. It's nuts how powerful this thing is. It's $20, and it's nuts that it can do as much as what you can do with Final Cut Pro in some instances. I still edit with Final Cut Pro. I have a Mac. I use Final Cut Pro on some more serious projects. But when it comes to making YouTube videos, I'm telling you, LumaFusion is kicking butt with what they're doing. They are making some great apps. Actually, some of the more recent Apple commercials where Apple does the made on iPad, they're not even editing with iMovie. They are editing with LumaFusion, which is not their software. Their software sucks. Yeah, it's free, but it's not good. LumaFusion, phenomenal, phenomenal software. Again, it's not quite Final Cut Pro, but for an iPad, I mean, this is an iPad, not a laptop. I'm very impressed with LumaFusion. I use LumaFusion for all of my video editing needs. It's just a great service. I mean, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. If we're going to go ahead and talk about apps I use for editing, let me go ahead and throw out, not that I'm a big enough YouTuber for this to matter, not that they're going to benefit from this, and not that I'm being endorsed. I shouldn't have to tell you the fact that I'm not being endorsed by these companies, because these companies have no idea who I am. I'm doing this just because some of you guys might be trying to up your photo editing or your video editing. So I just want to give you a few things that I use. I use Affinity Photo to do all kinds of things like designing flyers and editing photos. Affinity Photo is quite literally Adobe Photoshop CC without the monthly fee. The iPad version of Affinity Photo is $20, I think, and the Mac version of Affinity Photo, which I have loaded up on my Mac Mini right here, the Mac version of Affinity Photo was $49. So it was 100%, let's call it 50. It was $50, 100% worth it, because I have made so many things on my Mac now with it. I've used the Photoshop Oh, and that's another thing. Affinity Photo actually lets you save files as Photoshop file format. So you can save them as PSD files if you want. So it's super awesome. You don't have to pay for it monthly. You pay for it one time and you are set. That's all there is to it. So I highly recommend those apps. That's what I use for all of my editing and all of my whatever. For photos and videos. Another great one, if you are trying to get like Adobe Lightroom, an app called Darkroom is just exactly like Lightroom. It does some phenomenal editing stuff, and I totally recommend that you should go check out all of those apps. They are phenomenal apps. They're all iOS and Mac exclusive. If you're interested in like Windows or Android things or anything like that, let me know and I might check that out for you all. I haven't done that. I don't use Windows. I don't use Android, though I have been thinking about getting a Google Pixel. I'm on the fence about it. I'm waiting to see what the Pixel 4 is like. The other problem with getting a Google Pixel is I absolutely love my Apple Watch. Not such a big fan of iOS anymore. It's getting a little stale, but my Apple Watch, man, I wish it would work on another phone because I love this thing to death. And I just can't get a different watch that works as well as the Apple Watch. It is such a good watch. I love this watch, and I don't want to get a new watch. That is beyond the point of this video. Hopefully that answers your questions. Like I said, there weren't that many questions, which is good because I was able to go into more detail, more in-depth answers on your questions for those of you who asked. And yeah, hopefully that helps answer some of the questions. I definitely would love to make some more videos. I know that was one of the questions. And if you enjoyed this particular video, hit the subscribe button because I'll be making more content. If you have ideas on future videos, or if you have more questions that you'd like me to answer, drop those questions below and hopefully we can do an entire video on something you might be interested in. So see you in the next one, and thanks again for stopping by for a couple questions to be answered. Peace out, and I'll see you in the next one.